Welcome back, everybody, to another Core Racing League's Arca Menards series. Tonight we are at two-mile tracks. One is in Michigan International Speedway, which is just like 2.5 hours away from my hometown. And then right after the Michigan race, we're going over to the West Coast to Auto Club. We're taking it back to Cali, you know what I'm saying? Got to get a little wicka, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, it's two-mile track. I mean, that is such a tongue twister. I don't know how I'm gonna ever get through this broadcast doing that. But tonight, first track on deck is Michigan. You see it here, 2 miles exactly. Track temp is 77 degrees. And then I also have a counterpart, Mr. Ricardo Gonzalez, aka Tequila Time, aka Monster in the Next Gens, and aka thanks for making me lose the bet, sir.
Mr. Dylan McDonald, how are we doing tonight? Man, first, before we get into anything racing related, man, I just want to me and you talked a little bit before the broadcast, man, just praying for you and your family as you're dealing with some troubles back home with your grandparents. Man, everybody, I'm sure, that's on the CRN team and the core team is definitely praying for you, man. You've been a real help for me when I've been in iRacing. So from one brother to another, man, just want to say good vibes, sending good vibes, and saying prayers every night for you and your family. So yeah. Other than that, man, everything's good, and we're looking to go racing here at two-mile racetracks. There you go, Mr. Dylan McDonald. Got it out of the way.
Yeah, see, I was about to say it does sound like a little bit of a tongue twister, doesn't it? You say two, and then you got to say 2 mile. like
Right,
it
right.
just doesn't work. But now let's talk a little bit about Michigan. It's a high banked, super high speed, pretty much restrictor plate slash plate track feel vibe to it. You got to use your brake just a little bit, especially in these ARCA cars. When these ARCA cars were here a couple of weeks ago, I ran them every day, 5, 6, 7 times a day. Like the minute I got off of work and got home, it was Arca, Arca, Arca. Michigan is probably one of the most easiest tracks that you can race on until the tires get well, actually not until the tires, but on the first start of the race, your tires are going to be so cold. You got to build up that air pressure and that heat in those rear tires. You're going to be slipping and sliding. Another key factor that we talk about all the time, especially here in the ARCA series, is getting into pit road. Before we went live, I've been watching Kevin Foster. He's been getting into pit road super smooth. Now, I don't know if we've seen anybody else go down pit road to get into that little rhythm getting in, where you can let off, where you got to get on your brakes, and how quick you can get in. But if you set your brake bias to the wrong amount, you could either be backing it into the entrance of pit road wall, or where the little bit of an indent is to start pit road wall, you could be smacking that with the front end of your car, and that's something that you don't really want to see happen while you're doing a green flag pit stop, or well, I mean, you can't really do it under under a caution, but anything can happen. It is iRacing.
Yeah, that's one of the things too, Dylan, that I saw. I did see the 54 try to come down pit road. He came in a little hot. Then I did see the 88, and we all know my brother, not Mr. Consistency, spun it out coming down the pit road, or I think he locked him up. No, he did spin it. He did spin it, and tagged that little inside barrier on pit road. So yeah, that's another thing I'm gonna look for. I know people say these tracks are very similar. I mean, they are. Um, Respectfully so. I believe Michigan's just a little bit faster than Auto Club. Yeah, you have the fast straightaway speeds at Auto Club, but at Michigan, you got to maintain that momentum the whole time. Luckily, me and you, we ran this in the next gen. I always use the next gen as something because that's something I love, and I love running that car. We were able to come home with a win, and actually at the both tracks we were at, we came home with wins. And all about what I was doing, Dylan, is just saving tire. That's the only thing I could think of is when we came to that race. Um, and then here at Michigan, I was actually not running the bottom of the racetrack. Yes, I was doing that in qualifying, but during the race, I was actually running the second groove, getting right on that seam, putting my left sides on the seam. As I have Matt Crockett, you have Mike Little on your screen. Matt Crockett put his left sides right on that seam, and it looked like he got a little loose, tagged the wall a little bit coming out of two. As you see, Mike, he's running the outside, but when the race came out, I just like to stay behind somebody and draft off them. I'm saving fuel and then easing it into the corner, not pushing the car as much as I wanted to. And our right side tires, Dylan, for this race, they were sitting in the 80s for majority of this race. Um, we were able to make some moves towards the end of that race, and we came home with a win. I felt like those guys that were racing really, really, really hard just burned their stuff up, and we were able to have the grip that we had and drive it down to the bottom. Took it 3 wide, coming out of 4, and it stuck. So um, happy to come away with some wins here. But I'm gonna let you stick to the Arca car because you are a master of these cars. I should be doing my homework every week, but the way that work has been going on, my busy schedule of trying to maintain 5 different markets, and actually going out of town this Sunday, so unfortunately won't be able to be in the broadcast booth with you on Tuesday. Really, really bummed about that. But I will tell you this, Dylan. I'm going to Viva Las Vegas. That's going to be a blast. It's going to be fun to finally open that market. We've been waiting for it for like 4 or 5 months. So, going to be really, really fun heading out there. It's my first time being out there since I've turned 21. I'm 32 now. So, last time I was in Vegas, Dylan, I was like 16. I didn't get to experience. So, it's gonna be a fun work trip. But we'll save that story for a different time.
Well, I mean, me personally, I've never been to Vegas, so you've got one leg up on me. So therefore, it happens. I have been to a couple different states, but yeah, the Arca car. Go ahead, Ricky. Just leave it to me. You stay with the next
Yep.
gens. Me and you, we are on a team. We run for Title
Yep.
City. Well, me with the owner of Title City Racing, you're on Title Town Racing, the sister team to Title Town. And it's just like on Friday nights, I go to you and Blake Howell for help, and you guys do help the whole team. You everybody helps each other out when they need it the most. And same with, if we're running the 87s, I tell you what I'm doing, or other times you tell me what you're doing, and we just collaborate that way and we get the job done. But with these ARCA cars, me personally, if I were to run this race for qualifying, I'd go with a 10 to 1 ratio. This is for qualifying, by the way. 10 to 1 ratio, my brake bias
Okay.
all the way to the front. So down at 60%, get into the car, take it down to -3, and run as quickly but as smoothly as you can, because when you run an 8 to 1 or a 10 to 1 gear or steering ratio, that wheel is going to be super super twitchy, and you got to know how to correct the car if it gets a little bit loose. And then for the race, I'm looking about 12 to 14 to 1 on the steering ratio. And it keep the brakes where they are. You just gotta, let the wheel do what it wants to do. I know Mike Little. He's one of my really great friends. I raced with him in Arca all this time, so he's been giving me a little bit tips and tricks to this 2 mile track. And as you see here, he is top of the leaderboard with a 39.306, bettering out your brother by point oh 0.03. So I think maybe if this goes green, we might have a good little battle on our hands between your brother and Mike Little.
Yeah, I knew Mike was fast. I've seen some of his streams on Twitch. Actually got to meet him through you. We got done with the Next Gen League, and you threw me over there with where he was doing. And I've been keeping an eye on Mike, seeing what he's done. I saw him run a race at Nashville a couple weeks ago. Super quick there. Mike's very patient from what I've seen. He doesn't put the car in bad situations whatsoever. He lets it do the work, and if he can get a run on somebody, he'll definitely take advantage of that. But from everything that I've seen, super nice guy and he races super clean. So I'm anxious to see what the 88 does. He change? I'm sure he doesn't change his driving aspects. He's going to be aggressive as always. I know him personally. Obviously, he's my brother. And then there's another guy too, Dylan, sitting third. It's Kevin Foster. Um, Foster is another. He does what the car wants to do. He doesn't push it to its limits. Kevin likes to spend the first half of the race learning what the car's doing, and then
Today.
towards the end of it, he'll go ahead and just push that. But without further ado, Mr. McDonald, we brought our in-race reporter, and he doesn't even know he's his in-race reporter. So surprise, buddy, my fellow Texan out in Canyon. That'll be the 72 of Mr. Caleb Collins.
This is because I ragged on you for those tech colors earlier today, isn't it?
I don't
Oh,
know what you're
that's
talking about.
nothing. I don't know what he's talking about either.
Well,
Hey,
Caleb.
Ricky.
Oh,
Hey,
go ahead,
Ricky.
buddy.
How about them Cowboys?
How about them
Oh
Cowboys?
my goodness,
You
here
need
we
to add
go.
Mr. Dylan McDonald on Facebook. For those who don't know, me and Dylan had a bet, and he lost. He's a big Bears fan. Cowboys beat him on Sunday, and Dylan had to change everything on Facebook. The Dallas Cowboys. And Dylan's been getting some messages asking, what's up with this? But
I did,
That's
however,
perfect.
hold on. While we're talking about this whole subject, I did, however, go into the gas station today and I found a bag of Doritos that said "Nacho Year Again" with Dak Prescott sitting on the front of it. So, I mean, hey, I'm just saying, fact speaks for themselves. But it's all love over here, guys. As as yes, we do have Caleb Collins in here as our in race reporter. Now, Caleb, I know you're not too fond of the Arca cars. You've been trying. You got my buddy Mike Little down there giving you a little bit tips and tricks and advice. Did that help you going into qualifying as you start P6 on the board for the race? Now, did that transpire anything to your qualifying run, or are you still trying to get used to the car?
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate the Arca cars as much, honestly. They're not bad, but I really don't like Michigan. But the thing that really threw me off today was I came in here and I practiced a couple hours ago, and I guess I got the temperature wrong because the track was so much tighter. I was just plowing through the turns. So we're blazing through the turns way faster than we were whenever I was practicing. So I feel like all that practice was kind of for naught. I don't know. It may help me out whenever it comes to tire saving here. But I feel like I basically just jumped in here and got like 10 laps of practice, even though 2 hours ago I ran like 50 more laps than that. I don't know that they're really going to pertain tonight. So we'll see.
Well, did you ever get a good calculation on what the fuel run's going to be here tonight? And how were your tires looking up after the 10 laps that you did over here in this league session? And are tires going to be a big thing? Can you make the tires last your whole fuel run, or do you think you're going to have to pit to get new tires before you have to pit for a tank of fuel?
Think you can go a whole fuel run. At least I was practicing, and it was really pushing on that right front. Like I said, the practice that didn't pertain to this, but I barely made it on that right front to the end of the fuel run. So doing that, I feel a lot more confident about making that right front last. PB was saying he's leaning on his right rear quite a bit. I think as this race goes on, especially if this car handles similarly in dirty air as it did to Chicago, which is the closest thing that we've run to this so far this season, it was really, really tight in dirty air. So I think we're going to wind up still wearing that right front pretty hard. I think it's still going to be kind of a tire saving game on that right front, but we'll see how it goes. You're definitely going to want clean air. I was hoping I could get a little bit faster lap in, but um, top three rows isn't bad. Hopefully there will be some room to move around up there, and we can get some clean air because I think that's going to dictate a lot of this race.
Yeah, that will end up dictating your race here tonight. But you're getting ready to grid up here and get set for 45 laps here at Michigan, and hopefully at the end of this thing we'll be able to talk to you up here in the booth.
Hope so. We'll put on a show either way.
All right, buddy. We'll go ahead and send you back down to the race chat, and good luck.
Thanks, Dylan.
All right, guys, we're getting ready to go green here. We're going to go ahead and bring up the qualifying order for you guys really quickly here. As I bring these up, give me one quick second. For qualifying here tonight, we have Mike Little making his debut in the Core Racing League, starting P number 1. Mark Gonzalez showing back up after taking a little couple week hiatus, starting on the outside pole. Kevin Foster in third, Jimmy Ensley in fourth, Paul Butler rounding out your top 5, Caleb Collins in 6th, Joseph Sullivan in 7th, Tyler Bramble in 8th, Tyler Barnes in 9th, and rounding out your top 10 will be Joe Morant. Paul Owens starting P11, Matt Crockett in 12th, John Nobinger in 13th, Derek Booker in 14th, and John Crane rounding out your 15 car field. Now, if you notice there, down there at the bottom, you got Derek Booker and John Crane electing to not take a single time in the qualifying. So we're going to see these two drivers see if they can pull up through the field and possibly put on one hell of a show.
Yeah, I know Derek had a couple tough races last week. Like to see him, try to learn to be patient this time around. And it's I'm not knocking anybody. I just, I want to encourage these guys, encourage them to get in the Arca car and try to do their best. But definitely like to see a little bit more patience out of that 86. He was really fast, as we know, Dylan, last week for the first half of the run. And then as the tires would wear off, we saw him fade. So him starting in the back, I think that's a good call. Let's see what these guys in front of us have as far as speed wise, and then if you can make your push towards the front in the second half of the run. I know he's going to be quick in the first half, Dylan, but I want to see him make a push in the second half of the run. Hopefully he's got a lot of practice in. Hopefully he got a lot of testing in, and seeing what these guys can do as far as seeing Mark, Mike, Kevin, Caleb, PB, and even Owens, seeing what they did and trying to mirror all that stuff. I know that the big factor here in core is these guys like to help each other as much as they can. So hopefully Derek took some time out and messaged some of these guys to see what they were doing as far as setup wise. And if there's one person I can trust, it's the car that you just had on the screen was a 77 of Paul Butler. Paul helps anybody and everybody that he can. So yeah, that's one of the things I'm going to look at. And then the other thing, the guy starting in 11th, Paul Owens, kind of botched his qualifying run. So we're going to see if that number 54 Toyota can make his way up to the front. I know he will. And so yeah, those are two of the things that I'm gonna look for, Dylan, as the pace car looks like we're about to set sail as you're going through the field, showing everybody's paint schemes.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a really good race here. As I got the camera up here on Barney the Flagman. He's awake, he's live, and he's well. Pace car is going to dip down into pit lane. Mike Little cannot go until the Geico restart zone or until Barney waves the green flag. And we are racing here for 45 laps from Michigan International Speedway. Totally
Yeah,
bullshit.
these guys are gonna these guys are gonna dive it down into turn number 1. 45 laps on the schedule here at Michigan, and we are gonna see. Looks like Kevin Foster take that second position away from Mark Gonzalez. Mark's gonna settle down in the third position, and it looks like Kevin wants to pull away with Mike. So these two guys are trying to tandem draft like they did in the old COT car in the Cup Series. And as we're side by side too in the back, it looks like Inslee and Butler and Collins all trying to make their moves now as they're on cold tires, Dylan. And then I noticed one thing you said. You got to baby it for the first couple of laps until we build air pressure, and then once those air pressures build up, looks like these guys are going to be able to make some moves.
Yeah, looking back there through the pack, it looked like Tyler Bramble, Tyler Barnes, and John Obinger were all three wide there for the first lap. They ended up getting down to about single file, but it looks like Tyler Barnes is making his move on the number 76, Joseph Sullivan. Joseph Sullivan's going to have the good run coming out of the quarter because he's on that high side. And that's one thing that you do want to pay attention to. The guy that's on your outside will have the better run coming off the corner than you will have on the inside due to you having to let off just a little bit more than the guy on your outside. But Tyler Bramble is not falling back at all, and it looks like Tyler Barnes was able to clear the number 76 on that inside. So it looks like he heard what I was saying and said, all right, hold my beer. I'm going to show you what I can do on the inside.
Yeah, what a monster move by that guy in the 3 car trying to get around Joseph Sullivan in that 76. Another battle I'm looking at is just right in front of him. Looks like the 54 made a move on the 72 of Collins. So move that 54 machine up one spot into the 6th position. And I told you pre-race, Dylan, that 54 in the 11th position is somebody you're going to have to watch out for. And sure enough, here he is making moves up towards the front.
Yeah, so far, Paul Owens is our biggest mover, up 5 positions from where he started. Then you got John Crane. He's up 5 positions too, as he's up to P number 10, starting from 15th up to 10th. So far, it is Mike Little out there in the front, towing these guys around as your brother Mark Gonzalez go to sit behind him. You see there, Mike Little running the super high side. Your brother's trying to work the inside, get around Mike Little to get that clean air. And, nobody really knows how good that clean air really works until you're actually in the car battling it for that position, as it looks like Mike Little is going to get passed by the number 88 here. And I think that just might be a little bit of a tactic, but back here it looks like we're about to go 3 wide with an 8, the 77, and the 72, as The 54, 53, and 72 are actually 3 wide now. Paul Owens move him up to P number 5 as he is up 6 positions.
It looks like Jimmy Inslee, not in the wake of the draft, going to lose a couple spots. Paul Owens, I don't know if he got a 2-for-1. We saw him pass Caleb earlier. Caleb tried to sneak his way back in it, and he's going to pass the 8. Wow, Foster moving back a couple spots. Moved the 77 and the 54. And the 8 now continues to slide back. He's under heat from the 72, and so Caleb now trying to make that move, and then looks like Jimmy's just going to sit back and ride for a little bit, trying to get in these guys' draft. And if I'm Caleb, yeah, get up, buddy. Got to get in that draft. If not, Foster's going to get that run off of 4 and get underneath you. So yeah, these guys are working tremendous in the draft together. They're gonna have to work even harder now because it looks like the gap between Little and Paul Butler's 3/10. Oh yeah, they're still in the wake of the draft, so they're not gonna lose them too bad. Looks like that 88 though is just trying to pull away from everybody and set sail like he did at Rockingham. But yeah, this is great racing, Dylan. It's better than I anticipated. I thought Chicago was probably the best race that we had as far as, having multiple grooves. But Michigan, this is fun seeing these guys go all over the place to try to get positions left and right.
Yeah, you can pretty much fit these cars about 6 wide if you trust the guys around you. As me, being me, I like pushing the envelope. My mom ain't raised no punk, so I like doing it. Half the time it doesn't work out in my favor, half the time it does. But yeah, I mean, look at Paul Owens. Paul Owens is up 8 positions all the way up to P number 3. He started back at 11th, and look how quickly he's made his way up to the front. Mike Little dropped back to 2nd place, but he's just letting your brother just kind of pull away. Let him reel himself back in later in the run. Paul Owens, he's still running that high side. Paul Butler's running right behind him. Looks like he got a little bit of an arrow tight, had to push up the track. And Caleb Collins still wrapping that yellow line down on the inside. But while we are green here, I want to give a big shout out to everybody that has liked, shared, subscribed to the videos. Without you guys, CRN wouldn't really be anything. Glad that we could come out here, support everybody that is in a league that we broadcast, and hopefully we can get some more. We are closing in on our goal by the end of the year of 300 subscribers. We're at 272, I do believe. So we're oh so close to that 300 mark. And got to give a big shout out to Joka Graphics up there on the top right of the screen here once it flips on over from CRN. Got to give a big shout out to Carl Handwork and Jimmy Cover for allowing me to be a part of CRN broadcasting crew as well. And without you guys, none of this would be possible.
Yeah, and as we close in, Dylan, I know the big monumental 300 subscribers is something that they want. So if you haven't already, like Dylan said, please like, share, subscribe. I actually shared the stream to my dad, so hopefully I'm doing him proud here in the booth tonight. Your other son is leading the race. It looks like he's pulling away big time now, half a second lead over Mike Little. But I feel like Mike's probably saving his tires. And one thing too, Dylan, that I've noticed, these guys are getting higher and higher and higher on the track. We saw him run that middle groove, that 3rd lane maybe. These guys are almost all the way to the wall now, trying to get a run and get as much speed off of the corners. As earlier in the run, I saw Foster trying to get to the outside of Caleb Collins. I don't know if he was successful. Yeah, he was successful on making that pass. Caleb slipped a little. He's slipping now a little 2 positions back. Inslee gets around him now, and then he's going to be under duress from Tyler Barnes. But yeah, that's one thing I've noticed a lot, Dylan, is these guys are starting to almost be up close to that wall.
Yeah, being up there close to that wall, they are, they're about 10, yeah, they are about 10 laps into this run, and as those laps start ticking down, they're going to be just a little bit, their tires are going to be a little bit worn, so they're going to be traveling up the track. Instead of going down the track, they're going to go up the track. And that's when you're going to see a lot of people actually save their stuff instead of actually burning it down to the wire or showing cords, one might say. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a good battle up here in the front if these guys know how to save their tire. And it could possibly come down to a tire strategy if it does come down to that. Do you take 2 tires or do you take 4?
I think for me personally, Dylan, man, it's hard not to take 4. Fresh rubber, especially with the way that the tires wear. Not really sure on what the wear was like. I know we talked to Caleb for a little bit, Not really sure on how it was looking for him, but for me personally, Dylan, I love having grip, love having the fast speed, and I know if I take 2 tires, I'm not as fast. And I kind of took your advice on these cars run and handle similar to the 86, 87. Sorry. Um, so maybe trying to back your corners up as much as you can while you're still maintaining speed, which I know is pretty hard to do. Um, but but yeah, that's kind of the approach. I'm coming in taking 4 tires and getting back out there and try to run you down because I know I'm gonna have better rubber than you, and I know once the tires equal out and there's some logistics and stuff that could happen. But me personally, I'm taking 4. What about you?
It all depends on how many laps are left in the race and what position I'm ultimately in. So if I'm the leader and let's say we got 15 to 20 laps to go, I'm going to ultimately take the 2 tire strategy. I mean, you want to get in and off of pit road and hope to God you don't have a caution to where you are pretty much essentially the catbird because now you got everybody back up behind you. But honestly, for me, I would possibly do the 2 tire stop. I'm not one for a 2 tire stop, but I talked to Chris Hamilton and I've gotten a little bit better at the 2 tire stops as it's helped out in my favor just a few times, but not all the time. But if I have more than 15 to 20 laps, it looks like I'm going to be taking 4 as Paul Butler
Oh,
gets up into the wall there. Probably misjudged his entry into turn 3 and 4. Going to keep it up into the wall. Caleb Collins to the
oh,
outside. The 3 down to the inside. Splitting him 3 wide. Paul Butler's going to drop back to P number 9. He might have a broken toe link on that car. Or maybe the camera might be pushed in. And as it looks like John Crane is in pit lane. We're going to see if he ended up spinning out or what happened here. And it looks like John Crane, I believe, yeah, he just went into pit lane. So no spin there from the number 11. As maybe that might be a good call, but while we're watching that back here, Mike Little has gotten back around the number 88 machine of Mark Gonzalez, and that's something that Mike Little does. He may qualify up front, but he lets everybody go by him. Like, all right, cool. He's got my mentality, especially in the 87s. Cool. You want to go burn your stuff up? Go. Bye. I'll see you in about 10 laps. And granted, that's exactly what we just saw here as Mike Little regained the lead and Mark Gonzalez goes back to P number 2. But back here, Jimmy Inslee, he's only lost 1 position, but there's another battle out here on track as Caleb Collins is 2 wide with the number 3 of Tyler Barnes. And Caleb finally has gotten to that high side and having that high side work for him as now he's got the number 76 of Joseph Sullivan right smack dab in front of him. What does he do? Does he follow Joseph Sullivan or does he try to force it 3 wide?
oh! If I'm him, I'm gonna try to follow. He's gonna try to give him a little shot. I wouldn't recommend bump drafting in these things, Dylan, as it'll jack up the rear tires. Yo, he's
And
gonna
a
make it
3
3 wide. He's
wide
gonna be in the middle.
in the middle.
Caleb,
Slide
power
job.
move.
There it is.
Slide job. Got it. Wow, what a move. Good job, Caleb.
Joseph
Able to
Sullivan
move
into
that
the wall.
72
He's going to
machine.
move
Wow.
he's going to lose a little bit of time to these guys. And Caleb said, "Screw it. If Dylan can do it, I'm going to do it." And yeah, I bet Caleb's sitting there saying, "Please, Jesus, take the wheel. Don't let me mess up." As I got 2 guys on either side of me, and that was actually a pretty textbook move. If anything can happen, especially going 3 wide, you could get loose. The guy on your inside could get loose and overcorrect, or the guy on your outside could get loose. So there, you got to have a little bit of confidence in the guys that you're running around. As he's still running that high side, he's actually moved down the track just a little bit,
Try to pinch him.
pinching the number 3 machine. And I've done that from time to time again. Pinching does really work. It makes the guy on the inside have to drive a certain way. And I've won races that way. It does work. You're going to make the guy drive a little bit harder to get around you, and that's ultimately going to end up burning up his equipment. As up here in the front, your brother has lost 2 positions, one
Wow.
to Kevin Foster and the other to Paul Owens.
Yeah, I think Mark's starting to realize he pushed the car too hard in probably the first part of the stint. Wish he would have sit back, and I know that's not his style, but wish he would have just sit back behind that 46 machine of Mike and just try to learn something from him. As we know, Mike's a very talented sim racer, and you know, just learn. And then, as you see, Paul, he got by him. So I know Paul likes to be patient. I know he doesn't like to gain everything in like 3 or 4 laps. He lets the car. Ooh, got a little loose coming out of 4. Um, as we see Foster now coming down pit road. So Kevin Foster probably going to start the pit cycle here of guys coming to pit road. But if I'm marking Paul, I'm probably just going to follow that 46, and whatever he does is, and when he comes to pit road, you know, I'm probably going to follow suit. He's opened that gap up huge to 2 seconds. Wow.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was about
big fall off.
1.6. Yeah, he was about 1.6 ahead of Kevin Foster. Then Kevin Foster said, "All right, maybe I can make it this time," and he went down pit road. And you know, this could make or break your race here. Do you want to overcut or do you want to undercut? I mean, I've lost races as Paul Jones, or wow, I just said Jones. Paul Jelly Owens goes down pit lane this time by, and a couple more follow suit. As it looks like the number 53, Jimmy Inslee's going to go in.
Oh, 72 in the grass. Sorry, Dylan.
72 of
Oh,
Caleb
72.
Collins. He's in the grass. Looks like he's got a broken toe link, possibly, and he doesn't. But I wonder if he possibly missed the entrance of pit road. We're going to go ahead and go back here. Let me get to another rewind here.
Let's see. On the
Following
inside
along
of
with the number
Bramble.
72. He's on the inside of Tyler Barnes. Oh, they got
Oh, got
together.
loose.
And good save by the number 72. Able to keep it off the inside wall, as that inside wall can come up and grab you. Caleb Collins doing a little bit of Dukes of Hazzard style here. He's going to get back out on track, and, you know, now he's going to lose all that time here. And you can see here, not sure what happened to Caleb. Maybe he does have a broken toe link because he wasn't going that quickly around the track. And there we have it. Mark Gonzalez, Mike Little, Joe Sullivan, Tyler Barnes,
That's the whole
Tyler Bramble.
field. Wow.
The whole field is down pit lane. And when they all cycle through, I believe that's going to inherit the lead to Mr. Kevin Foster.
Yeah, I'm looking at guys that are on pit road right now. I see the right sides of the 39 going up. I didn't see the 3 go. Looks like the 3 only took gas only. Don't see anything happening with the 76, 77. I know the 88 took tires. 77 took tires. Oh man, this camera's going all over the place, Dylan, as I do have it focused on crashes. So I have you on one screen and I have the session on another screen. So some guys electing to take tires, some guys not. So they're trying to value track position over anything. As you know, we are almost halfway on this race. Yeah, we're almost halfway. So anxious to see if these guys they're gonna have to probably stop one more time, Dylan. If not, they're in fuel consumption. You know, they're gonna save as much fuel as they can. And if I'm doing that, trying to make it on one stop, Dylan, I'm getting behind somebody. I'm not passing him. I'm lifting early. You know, I'm probably going 3/4 throttle going down the front and backstretch, trying to save as much gas as I can. So I know I have to save 3 laps of fuel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the fuel load is completely, you know, just because I wasn't able to get in here and run a couple laps just to get the fuel level here. But, I mean, if you can't make it, yeah, do what you just said. I mean, one, Michigan's going to be a tough track to save fuel at anyways, just because of how high speed you're running in the corners and on the back stretches and the front stretch. So, I mean, you know, necessarily running half throttle doesn't really help you. It could also hurt you as well. I tried doing it in the next gen race at in the MSRL league, and I was not able to do so. I was still 2.5 laps short. So, somebody like Kevin Foster that knows how to save fuel could really do it to a T. But for somebody like me, myself, or you, we could have a little bit of a problem with trying to save fuel, as Kevin opened up the 2.8 second gap over Mike Little, and then Paul Owens up to P number 3. So he's up, it looks like 8 spots, but the biggest mover is John Crane up to P number 5. Haven't focused on him in a while, as he's getting ready to get to your brother here, and it looks like we have a spin back here. No, Tyler Barnes has entered pit lane, so not sure what happened to Tyler Barnes there. He's got to go down pit lane probably to get more service, as like you said earlier, he only took fuel, so maybe he realized that he messed up on that fuel or that pit stop and had to go back down.
Yeah, not really sure what happened to him. I'm riding on board with some of the guys that are in the session right now. There's some people that are that are already in that fuel saving mode. They're trying to save as much as they can. I know it was three or four laps, but it also, Dylan, is good to see that 11 car back up front. John was actually one of the first people on pit road. He was the first guy on pit road, if I'm not mistaken. So able to move up. You know, he was running, you know, in the 13th, 14th position and able to be in the top 5 right now. You know, massive undercut. So that was good for him. Riding on board with him at the moment. It looks like he's trying to stay in the draft of my brother right now. Not really sure if he's saving or not. I'm trying to listen to what his throttle's doing. It looks like he's going. So not really sure. As we see John Nobinger now make a move on the 39. He's going to try to get by him. As we also have a battle for second. Looks like Paul's going to try to get by Mike. And Mike has that same mindset. You want to burn your stuff up? Go ahead. I'll see you in about 10 laps, buddy. He's going to let the 54 go on by, and Mike's just going to continue to run what he's been doing all race long.
You know, not gonna lie, I think that's a pretty smart and strategic move just to let these guys go by and just tuck in behind the guy in front of you. You know, with the draft of these Arca cars, that could actually pull you through the corners, through the straights, and you know, you could save a little bit more fuel if you needed to. But it looks like these guys are sitting here trying to work together, and they are slowly falling away from Kevin Foster as that gap has went from 2.8 up to 5 in 5 seconds, 5.4, 5.5 seconds now, as that time just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I don't know what Foster put in his race car, but holy cow, he's gone.
Yeah.
Almost a 6.1 second lead over the whole field. And I don't know if he took gas only or put 2 tires on it or what. It looks like a majority of these guys either put fuel or 2 tires on it. Not sure if Foster put 4 or what that strategy was. I'm going to be interested to see if he's able to hold this, if he can hold this lead. If hopefully we don't see anything drastic change on the racetrack with anything that could possibly happen. As you see Derek Booker, look at Derek Booker now making a move on Crane. Move that machine up to the 7th position. And this is the run that Booker needs to build that confidence. You know, we saw struggle last week. He's making moves, being smart with the race car, doing what the car wants to do, Dylan. Probably took some advice from you earlier this week or last week. And, man, what a showing in the 7th position. Really proud of what he's put on here at Michigan today.
Yeah, he's been up 7 positions as it is right now from where he started. He started dead or 14th. He's up to 7th. So good race for this man in the number 86 is Joe Sullivan. As John Crane is actually in pit lane this time by. So another strategy. So these guys do have to pit one more time at least. Or maybe John Crane just short pitted a little bit too early. It was not able to get around. But it looks like Mike Little has dropped back to P number 5. Not sure what's going on with the number 46 machine. Maybe he's thinking, okay, I made my bed. I'm going to try to make this on just one stop only and let these guys go by and see what he could do and possibly even go the whole rest of the way without pitting.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things, Dylan, that he's doing. He's probably already saving as much gas as he can. He's probably just made his strategy, and he wants to be a one-stop kind of guy, one strategist, I should say. So, yeah, he's lost a couple positions and continues to move backwards. But I believe he is saving a lot of fuel right now, Dylan. He's probably clutching it, turning the car off, popping the clutch, turning the car back on, and continuing to go. One thing I did see is Paul Butler starting to make a move on Jimmy Inslee. Yeah, move that 77 machine now up to the 4th position as he makes a move on Jimmy Inslee.
So Mike Little is popping his clutch. I just went over to the cockpit view. He's not even going full throttle either, so he's trying to make this on one stop while everybody else has to go on 2 stops. As Mike Little going into turn number 1, and turn number 1, we're going to see him pop the clutch. There it goes. Kills the car, lets it roll about halfway through the corner, and gets back on it. And he's doing it so smooth, he's not even getting loose, getting back into the throttle. We're actually going to see if the race leader Kevin Foster's doing the same thing here. As he comes out of turn number 3 and 4, he's going to drop down to the inside as he gets ready to go into turn number 1. We're going to see what Kevin Foster does. Is he trying to save fuel too, or is he just trying to get out to a big enough lead? And Kevin Foster is not saving fuel.
Yeah. Wow. I did see I thought I saw somebody on pit road. It wasn't the fifth. Was it the 53? No, I guess it wasn't the 53. He had the pit icon pop up, so I thought he was coming to pit road. But he's actually trying to make a move for second. He's gonna try to get around Mark and try to move that machine up, and then Paul Butler probably gonna follow suit. But if I'm Mark or anybody, you know, I'm probably taking the strategy of what Mike did. Now I know I'm not the best person to ask about saving fuel. I know you're not the best person, Dylan, to ask for saving
Kevin
fuel.
Foster is in pit lane this time by. So Kevin Foster knew that he couldn't
Okay.
make it, and he just went down pit road.
Yeah, he had a big enough gap, so I'm pretty sure he thinks he can come take a splash and hopefully he can be in reasonable touch of where Mike is. If not, he's gonna have to. Yeah, he keeps falling back. I mean, he's gonna be down to probably where 11th or 12th, I'm guessing, when he finally come out of pit road. But yeah, that inherit the lead now to Mr. Jimmy Inslee and Mark battling for the lead, and then you got Paul Butler sitting right there, hoping those guys make a mistake. Inslee gets a little loose getting in, but Butler probably hoping these guys make a mistake and he can capitalize. I know Butler hasn't had the best of seasons here in the Arca Menards series, but I know he wants to get back on track, and what a perfect place to do it. And two-mile tracks. Man, that is a tongue twister. It almost got me, Dylan.
Yeah, looking back here, it looks like Paul Owens, he's dropped back to 8th, so he's only up 3 positions from where he started. And I'm thinking he's going with the same strategy as Mike Little here, as we're going to jump on board with the number 54 here as he goes down the super stretch here of Michigan International Speedway. We're going to listen on the board to that number 54, see if he does put the clutch in to kind of save a little bit of fuel. And he is
Yep.
doing so.
Yep.
As you see there, he's popping the clutch. He's doing the same strategy as Mike Little, but if you notice, Mike Little holds a better wheel than Paul Owens. Paul Owens actually goes all the way down to the apron, and Mike Little keeps it right in the middle, pops it out ever so slightly, and is back on throttle. And so far, Mike Little has dropped back to number 6, but he's doing a great job at keeping his car as smooth as he possibly can. Same with that number 54 machine of Paul Owens.
Yeah, and Mike's not too far off the lead. I mean, he's only 3 seconds back of Mark at the moment. I know he's continuing to lose some time, but maybe Mike already. There he goes. Let's see. I don't know if Mark is actually coming to pit road. It looks like everybody's gaining on him, so I don't know. No, Mark is not coming to pit road this time. Probably just trying to do the same thing now. He's going to try to save as much gas. And the best thing about Mark being in the lead right now, he has these lap cars in front of him. Maybe he can get a draft off him, you know, and just stick with these guys and not push the car as much as he wants.
Yeah, that's what it's going to ultimately come down to. I mean, you got a 0.7 second gap over Paul Butler in P number 2, and then a little over a second for Jimmy Inslee. But with Mark Gonzalez having lap traffic in front of him,
Ooh,
as Mark Gonzalez
down.
comes down pit lane this time by, does he get it slowed down? Does Derek Booker get it slowed down? He gets a little bit loose. Great pit stops from both of these guys, the 88 and 86. These guys could be teammates as they go into pit lane together, and they'll possibly come out together.
Yeah, I was really impressed with both pit entries. They were able to slow the car down, not loop it on old tires. As you see Paul Butler and Jimmy Inslee go side by side. So interested to see what the 88 and 86 do. I'm sure they're only going to take gas only with us coming down to the wire here at Michigan. And Dylan, we got a battle on our hands right here.
Jimmy Inslee goes way high there. Keeps it off the wall. Can Jimmy Inslee get it done on the outside? Paul Butler to the end. He's going to be credited with leading that lap, but Jimmy Inslee is not going to go without a fight, as he's going to try to lead at least one lap here in the Arca Menards series, as it looks like more people have not went down pit road just yet, as the 86 is now coming out of pit lane. Not sure what happened to him, but I think maybe he took 4 tires of fuel, and your brother possibly just took fuel.
Yeah, with the way the race is right now, Dylan, you got to take only fuel at this moment. You're probably only taking 3 to 5 gallons to make it to the end, and then no tires. So I bet you Booker took tires, probably forgot to uncheck them. But you know what? I was impressed with what I saw from that E6. He was able to move up into the top 10, and was able to even move up to the top 5. And very, very impressed, and glad to see that he was able to put on a show for us. Probably not the result that he wants, as he's running 14th, 1 lap down. But you know what? that's not indicative of what he did today here at Michigan, to put that car in a perfect situation to get a top 10 showing.
Let's just give a big shout out to that number 53 of Jimmy Inslee. He has not led one single lap all season long, and look at him go. He has worked with me for a couple of weeks, got him getting into the rhythm of these longer races and the longer tracks, and he was able to lead a lap. Same with Joe Sullivan. These two guys I was able to help with during a little bit of a training session, I guess you could say. Just put up a little bit of a practice session, let these guys have at it. And Jimmy Inslee, able to find his way to the point, ended up getting passed by Joseph Sullivan. So maybe he just wanted to get one lap led, get the lead, give it back to whoever wanted it. And, you know, Jimmy Inslee, he's one of those guys that normally just wants to run around towards the back. And, you know, it's good to see that number 53 Chick-fil-A machine up here in the front.
Yeah, these guys both raced in the core truck series, so I was able to race with those guys. These guys are super clean racers, and they don't try to mess anybody's race up whatsoever. So big shout out to those two leading the race 1 and 2. Paul Butler looks like he slipped back a little bit. Maybe Paul's already in that fuel saving mode also. Maybe he realized he's gonna try to make it on one stop as well. Looks like is he out, Dylan? Is he out of fuel?
No, he's not out of field. I'm not sure what was going on with the number 77. Maybe we're actually going to watch here into turn number 3 and 4, see what he does.
I know he's trying to make it. He's babying that thing as much as he can.
Yeah, that was really weird as Jimmy Inslee goes down pit lane this time by. And Paul Butler is not trying to save as much fuel, but look at him. He's keeping it about 6,900 RPM, getting it just at 7,000. And then letting off the throttle, letting it carry and push all the way through as he's holding that wheel super still and able to get around all these cars over here as looks like Jimmy Inslee is already coming out of pit lane, so fuel only for that number 53 machine of Jimmy Inslee.
I was about to say, Dylan, I had him scored last for some reason. I guess his blinking is causing him to do that. But I thought he was taking 4 tires when I saw he was last and almost 1 lap down. But that doesn't certainly seem to be the case. But it looks like Mike has made his bed. Is Paul's trying to stretch it just a little bit. He has a 6/10 of a second lead over Mike. Mike's coming rapid.
But look who's right behind these guys is Kevin Foster. Ooh. Kevin Foster has caught Mike Little and John Nobinger or actually just John Nobinger as these guys, yeah, it's only John Nobinger. He was not able to catch up to Mike Little just yet, but kudos to these guys trying to force it just with one pit stop. Paul Butler has to pit this time by. Not able to make it to the end. That's going to inherit the lead of Mike Little as we are on our final lap. Mike Little trying to get the win here at Michigan, doing a one-stop shop. As we look back here, Kevin Foster was able to get around John Nobinger, so he's going to be P number 2. John Nobinger is going to be 3rd, Crockett in 4th, Paul Butler is going to be 5th as of right now. He's going to drop down the leaderboard. And, I mean, to go the whole way until the last lap to run out of fuel, that's got to hurt the ego of Paul Butler. He was oh so close. And
I think Nobinger's out.
Nobinger's out of fuel.
I think
Mike
Nobinger's
Little
out.
Able to get it done here. Fuel saving mileage for the number 46 as he captures the checkered flag here at Michigan. P number 2 is Kevin Foster. 3rd is Nobinger. He ran out of fuel and still finished P number 3. Good racing by him. 4th is Matthew Crockett. 5th, Mark Gonzalez. 6th, Tyler Bramble. 7th, John Crane. 8th, Jimmy Inslee. 9th, Joseph Sullivan. 10th, Tyler Barnes. 11th, Caleb Collins. 12th, 11th, Paul Butler.
Oh.
Paul Butler was able to get around Caleb. Oh, Caleb. No! Our in-race reporter. Got to go back in here and see what happened to the number 72. Trying to get as much as oh, the number 3 gave him a little bit of a shot. The 3 got into him. I guess the position meant more to him than finishing where he was. He's going to give the number 72 a big shot. Caleb Collins can't get the car corrected. Paul Owens able to miss him. And that's going to do it for his race. So, it looks like Caleb Collins finishes P number 14. Paul Butler 11th. Derek Booker in 12th. Paul Owens in 13th. And rounding out your 15-car field is Joe Morant. Go ahead and bring up the race results. That's what you guys
Yeah, that
can.
was actually a fun little race, Dylan. You know, it had strategies left and right, people running all over this racetrack. And it came down to a guy making his first start. You know, I know you know him, Dylan, and I know he's been quick in other series and running this Arca car. But to come out and show these guys, you know what, I'm going to save fuel. I'm going to make it on one stop and show them what we're made of. And big congratulations to number 46 of Mike Little.
Yeah, Mike Little, you know, this is one of his favorite tracks. This is his second home track. Nashville is his first as he's down in Kentucky, but running down these final orders before we get everybody on, well, before we take a commercial break and then come back and do our little interviews here. We got Mike Little P number 1, Kevin Foster in 2nd, John Obinger in 3rd, Matthew Crockett in 4th, Mark Gonzalez rounding out your top 5. Tyler Bramble in 6th, John Crane in 7th, Jimmy Inslee in 8th, Joseph Sullivan in 9th, Tyler Barnes in 10th, Paul Butler in 11th, Derek Booker in 12th. Strong and clean performance by that number 86 here tonight. Big turnaround for him. 13th is Paul Owens. 14th, Caleb Collins. And rounding out your 15-car field is Joe Morant. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break here while we go and jump on board a plane, fly out to the east or west coast back in California, and we'll be right back after this little commercial break. right, guys, welcome back to Auto Club as we took like a little bit of a 5 minute hiatus there. And Ricky, I got a little bit of jet lag here. I don't know about you, but going from Michigan to Auto Club, man, I'm telling you, those little bit of airplane rides are giving me a little bit of motion sickness.
A little turbulence. Yeah, we got to talk to the guys at CRN. They put us in that small little propeller airplane. Luckily, it was able to get to California very quick. But me and you need to have a conversation with Jimmy and Carl about, hey, put us in first class or a private jet so we can get here a little bit quicker and get back to our fans that are watching here on the YouTube stream. But as we do that, Dylan, we're going to drag in our third place finisher. That'll be the number 44 of John Nominger. And Dylan, it's all yours.
John, this is Dylan and Ricky in the booth. You got a copy?
I got a copy of them.
Man, I don't know what it is, but I talk to you more than I talk to myself, and that's saying something. Because I mean, on Sundays I've been talking to you every week. It seems like for the past couple weeks I've been talking to you over here in the Arca series. I think the only thing that's left is you got to make it to the vintage and have Jimmy and Abby talk to you as I'll be driving in that series. But hey, a third place finish, couldn't be more mad about that finish. I mean, you ran out coming right to the line. I heard you talking about it there, and yeah, that's gotta suck. As a lot of one person I think was able to make it on one stop, and that's the number 46 of Mike Little.
Yeah, when I screwed up at the beginning there, I mean, I didn't practice. I did qualifying. I was like, okay, hit the wall once and got shuffled back. I'm like, I might be able to stretch out enough fuel if it's 40 seconds for a pit stop. Even if I'm a second slower, that could work. So it turned out that, other than Kevin, it seemed to work out pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, you come home with a top 3 here at Michigan. Now you're at Auto Club. Are you going to have the same strategy, or are you going to try to be different about this race? As these two tracks are sort of the same. You bottom out a little bit more at Auto Club. You can run a little bit lower as well. Or are you just going to try to go out there and put down a heater lap to get a good qualifying start, and hopefully you can keep it there towards the finish?
Let's see. Well, it looks like we can get about 30 laps for a tanks. The race is, what,
40 laps.
50, 40 laps? Oh, yeah. I don't think you can save 10 laps here, so yeah, it'll just be keep my nose clean and see what happens.
All right. Well, while you're out there practicing, John, we're going to go ahead and let you go down with some shout-outs before we let you get ready to start qualifying. So if there's anything out there you want to shout out, the floor is yours.
Just same as always, Dylan and Ricky, and for y'all putting on the broadcast, and Carl for running the league. Well, we appreciate it.
All right, John. Well, hopefully we'll be talking to you again after this race, and good luck to you out there as you tackle Auto Club.
All right, thank you, Dylan.
All right, that was our third place finisher. Would you like me to grab our second place finisher, Ricky, or do you?
If you don't mind, that's my fellow Texan. I know we had 2 Texans in the race, but now we're gonna bring in second place finisher of that will be Kevin Hollywood Foster. Hey, Kevin, Ricky, and Dylan in the booth got a copy, bud.
I will say this though, since he's not there, I don't think Hollywood is in Texas. I think that's in California. So.
Oh, it's in California for sure. Looks like he stepped away for a little bit. I don't know. Maybe we can get him later. But we'll go ahead and pull him. We'll let him go back, and then Dylan, I'll let you just grab our finisher. And I know he's a good buddy of yours. That's the 46 of Mike Little. And Dylan, I'll let you, since he's your buddy, I'll let you interview him.
All right, Mike Little. This is Dylan and Ricky in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
All right, Mike. Kind of walk us through your strategy there. I mean, you qualified on the pole. You pretty much topped the boards from practice to qualifying and the race. And you showed your dominance. I know you love Michigan. It's one of your home tracks, considering you went to UNOH for racing as in college. And, you let Mark Gonzalez go around you there, and you just let him pull away just a little bit. You took one pit stop, and you saved the amount of fuel that you needed to in order to make it just a one-stop race. Kind of walk us through what made you want to do that strategy.
I was looking at the fuel before the race started, and I was like, "Oh, this will be a one-stop race if we can save just enough." And I was a little worried if, with them running in the draft, that they were going to save enough and be able to keep a better pace than me. But once I seen them start ducking off on pit road, I was like, "Oh, I got this in the bag." I was like, "There's still like maybe one car up there that's been saving fuel."
Well,
So yeah, they started ducking off, and then I was like, "I think we have enough." And then when I crossed the line, it said .1 to the good.
oh, so Mike Little out here doing a little bit of strategy, playing Kevin Foster's game, as Kevin Foster was not saving fuel. He was just trying to get as far of a gap as he possibly could on you. Ended up doing that, but with you saving all that fuel, we actually got inside of your cockpit view, watched you do a little bit of tire, or not tire, but fuel saving, and it played out to perfection for you. Now, are you going to look at the same strategy here at Auto Club, or are you going to, because I know you got to pit at least once this race. So, what's your strategy going to be for Auto Club?
Um, I'm not really sure here. I haven't run a bunch of races here. Michigan, I'm a little more familiar with, but by the way the car's handling and the speeds we're running, it's gonna probably play out about the same. We'll see what the gap in fuel is between 1 and 2 stops and go from there.
Well, talking to our third place finisher, John Nobinger, he said you can get about 30 laps on a tank. You have 40 laps. So, I guess it would be, would you want to cut the race in half, pit after 20 laps, and then be good for the remainder, or are you just going to run the tank dry?
Um, well, we'll see what the fuel mileage is during the race too. That's gonna play a big part into it. If lot more on throttle time and higher speeds means you burn more fuel, and maybe we'll let a couple cars go and duck off in the draft again and kind of hold with them and just hang out.
Yeah, I mean, when I race with you, which is pretty much almost every day, I mean, we've been racing together since NASCAR 15 on the PS3, and we haven't lost connection or touch with each other. We've been really great friends after that. But out here in the YouTube chat, we have Barry Kistler. Big shout out to Barry Kistler. He's giving you a shout out in the YouTube chat saying good win and congrats on the win as well, Mike. And before we let you get on out of here, does anybody want to give a shout out to?
I'd like to give a shout out to my sponsors, Amsoil, Juggernaut, Wickedly Boosted. They're awesome companies, and I love just, being a part of them too.
All right, Mike. Well, good luck in tonight's second race, and hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end of it.
Hopefully, we'll catch you later.
All right, later, buddy. All right, that was our race winner. We're going to go ahead and grab the number 8 again here, see if he's in here. Kevin Foster. This is Dylan and Ricky in the booth. You got a copy.
10-4.
All right, Ricky.
There
Well,
he is.
this is your time to interview Hollywood in Hollywood, as we are in California. So take it away.
Hey, Mr. Kevin, congratulations on the second place finish. Kind of walk us through what your strategy was for that second stop. We know everybody came down, got fuel and tires, but what was your mindset coming on that last pit stop?
Well, I thought I was golden, really. You know what I mean? Like, kind of 11-second lead. I'm like, this never happens to me. And I was like, well, I'll just take 4 to be safe. That was the wrong move. I don't get to say that very much. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't know anyone can make it. I didn't have much practice. I didn't know if we were going to make it. So I was just going to try to win it on outright speed, which is never really my forte. But it almost worked.
Yeah, you built that lead, like you said, up to 11 seconds. So me and Dylan both were surprised how big that gap got. Unfortunately, we weren't able to run down the 46. He decided to make it on one stop. But now shifting gears, we're here at Auto Club, very similar track. Probably more bumpy than it is at Michigan. In Michigan, you're able to, carry more speed just because of how smooth that racetrack is from the repave that they did. But coming to Auto Club, I hope you finish one spot better, man, and hopefully you got something for these guys here as we come to race number 2.
Well, I'm gonna. You guys are watching. I hadn't seen practice yet, but yeah, 1 and 2 definitely gonna put it up on the boards, and I like the high line here.
Well, before we let you get out of here, Mr. Foster, is there anybody you'd like to thank on that ride?
On the ride, first off, thank you guys. The friends and family get to come out here and watch us do what we do. You guys are amazing in the booth there, and yeah, one more spot is the goal here, and I didn't get any practice in, but it is what it is, and we'll go in there, get it for qualifying, and we're gonna win this thing. We're gonna park it tonight in Victory Lane, boys.
There it is. You heard it. You heard it here, Dylan. You heard it first. The second place finisher wants to finish one spot better. Hollywood, good luck in this race. We're gonna let you go back where you were, and hopefully you can go get him in qualifying.
All right, brother. Appreciate you. Thanks, guys.
No problem. All right, that is gonna conclude the interviews for that first race here. We're gonna give you a little bit of a rundown while these guys are out here practicing, or not practicing. I apologize,
Qualifying.
qualifying. As we're gonna bring up the race info here, we have another 2 mile track. I mean, what's better than a 2 mile track? Nothing. Okay, I said it. You heard it here. You're talking to a plate track specialist. I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, you know me, Ricky. If it comes down to a plate track in the 87s or anything I'm running at a plate track, I just did the HTL plate track race yesterday. It didn't really work out in my favor. I had a miscommunication with my teammates and ended up getting screwed on that final pit stop. But looking at the track here tonight, it's a D-shaped oval, 68-degree track temp, 65 degrees in the air. 8-mile-an-hour winds, so definitely going to see a little bit of different strategies here. You heard Kevin Foster say he wants to be on that high side. Other people maybe want to be in the middle or even down low. But the real question is, are we going to see a Joey Logano slash what's his name, Kyle Busch maneuver, or was it? No, that was
It was
Chicagoland.
Chastain.
No, I'm talking about a couple years
Oh,
ago
okay.
when Kyle Busch got his 200th win.
Oh, it was Hamlin and Logano. I'm not mistaken. When Hamlin got hurt. Is that
I
not what you're thinking of?
Either that one or was it Chicagoland where Larson threw the slider and didn't. It was Chicagoland
It was
slide job.
Chicago. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Chicago.
See, I got my tracks all jumbled up. Okay, it happens, but we are
all good.
1,111 feet above sea level. So how about that? Suck on them apples. You know what I'm saying? It is. Always got to have fun up here in the booth. Again, thank you for the 8 watchers we have out there. And couldn't thank you guys enough. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. If you like this content, leave a big thumbs up. Comment on who you want to see throughout the race. We can go over to their cars as they're getting ready to finish up qualifying here. Going to go ahead and bring up the race results. Is Mark Gonzalez is P number 1 as of right now. Mark Thomas. So we got the Marky Mark show. Paul Owens in P number 3. Caleb Collins in 4th. Matt Crockett in 5th. Jimmy Inslee in 6th. Tyler Bramble in 7th. Joe Morant in 8th. And John Crane rounding out your 9 drivers so far that have taken the time. Mike Little out there taking his first lap. We're going to go ahead and right on board with him, see what he's doing here as he just came out of pit road. Let's see. I know, yep, there it is. He's going to run the high side his first lap, get the car up to speed, and then start running possibly the inside as that's something that me and him do a lot. A lot of times you want to have your car up by the wall to get that good run off the corner. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Just depends on the track. So Mike Little taking his first lap here. He's able to get it back down. He's going to run about the middle of the track here. And, I mean, he's holding it strong up there. Looking back here, it looks like John Nobinger, he's out there on track about the same distance away from Mike Little as he is going into turn number 3 and 4. Mike Little coming out of turn number 4 here. Going to switch back over to him, see what his first lap is. First lap is going to be quick time for Mike Little, 40.503. So Mark Gonzalez getting denied for the pole here tonight. Going to go ahead and jump on board with Mr. Paul Butler as he has qualified down there in P number 14.
It looks like almost everybody besides Derek Booker has put a time down. We know Derek's going to have to start in the back. He's serving a penalty from last week. Oh, Butler in the wall. But it looks like he'll end his. Not sure. Yeah, he's going to end his qualifying effort. So I'm not sure if he's going to be able to reset and hopefully get another lap in. I don't believe so, Dylan. So Butler probably going to have to come from the back, which is fine. We've seen him be quick all year long. And another car I'm looking that's on track right now is the 8 of Kevin Foster. So Foster finally on track. He's going to run that high groove in 3 and 4, trying to build as much momentum. And Dylan, here's a question I have for you. You throw away the first lap to make sure. Oh, and he's in the wall. He's going to try to reset, hopefully. Hopefully he doesn't cross the line.
Wait. I think Kevin
He's gonna
Foster
try
has already done his. Yeah, Kevin Foster has already done his
Oh,
laps. I
okay,
think
yeah.
he's just getting more practice time. Kevin, I'm sorry, but that's not the way you want to practice. You can't go through the grass and back up on track. As you know, I'm pretty sure Auto Club does have its own people that mow the grass, and I think Kevin Foster thought that he missed the spot, so Kevin Foster had to go back over it.
Yeah, I mean, that's unfortunate. Yeah, and we heard Hollywood say in his interview, you know, he didn't get a lot of practice. He probably used this time to either grab some snack or drink or possibly use the bathroom. So he's going to try to use this opportunity as much as he can to get some laps in. But yeah, we got Mike sitting on the pole at a 40.503. Then you have Mark. The only two guys that run a .5 are those two. And then you have Mark Thomas. So you have the 3 M's in a row. So should we think of a nickname for them? I know we got Marky Mark.
We got the
I don't know.
Muffin Man.
Muffin Man. So yeah, then you have Paul Owens. This just in, Dylan. Paul is actually dealing with some severe migraines right now. So for him to even actually be in the sim and trying to give it all he's got, you know, big props to that. You have Foster, Caleb Collins in 6th, Matt Crockett in 7th, Nobinger in 8th, Jimmy Inslee in 9th, Bramble in 10th, Joe Morant in 11th, Joseph Sullivan in 12th, John Crane in 13th, and Paul Butler will round out the field that we have so far that have qualified, and then Derek Booker will bring the 15-car field.
Look at
So
that
it looks like
drift
we're
by
only.
the number 8. Oh, smacks the inside. Oh, Mark Martin the inside wall there. Going to blow the motor.
And then I think, Dylan, the only driver that didn't come from the first race was that number 3 machine. So it looks like we lost one, but we also gained one. So we still have 15 guys. I'm not really sure what happened with the 3. Maybe he had some obligations he had to attend. But yeah, Mark Thomas able to make it 15 still. So yeah, well, it looks like everybody, Dylan, I guess, is qualified. Not really sure if we want to go ahead and just advance this session to make sure that, you know, we can get this race in at a decent hour.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and ask the guys up here. We're going to go take a quick break and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back here as we're getting ready to start the race. We're going to go ahead and bring up our qualifying results here. As let me empty that out, bring up our qualifying results, and Ricky, I'll let you go down the list for qualifying.
Yeah, we'll do this one last time before we go green. So you have Mike Little back-to-back poles. He'll bring the field to the green flag with Mark Gonzalez in 2nd, Mark Thomas in 3rd, Paul Owens in 4th, and Kevin Foster round out the top 5. Then you have Caleb Collins, Matt Crockett, John Nobinger, Jimmy Inslee, and Tyler Bramble will be your top 10 starters. Then Joe Morant in 11th, Joseph Sullivan in 12th, John Crane in 13th, and Paul Butler in 14th for the guys that put a time down. And then you have Derek Booker serving his penalty from last week. He'll round out the 15 drivers here at Auto Club. And Dylan, one thing we didn't talk about before we go green is how do we approach Auto Club? It's similar to Michigan. I believe it chews tire up more than Michigan, just because of all the bumps and whatnot on the surface. This surface is really really old. And then I know Dylan in real life they started tearing everything down, and they're gonna make this big 2 mile track a short track. So we'll hopefully iRacing gets that scan once that is completed, and maybe it'll be fairly soon and fairly quick that we're able to get short track racing here at Auto Club. But Dylan, I'll let you go ahead and show off these awesome paint schemes that some of these drivers have.
Yeah, starting off with Mike Little in that number 46 Amsoil Juggernaut, wickedly boosted number 46 Chevy Impala. The number 88, you love this car, as it is your brother in that quality care service, number 88. The number 50, showing as the number 10 Valvoline of Mark Muffin Man Thomas. Paul Owens in that MSI number 54. Kevin Foster in that Hellman's Mayonnaise, number 8. Matt Crockett the Rocket in that number 10 Liquid Death Mountain Water. Get you some. Caleb Collins in that What's New Scooby Doo Cartoon Network number 72. John Obinger in that Moving On, Moving and Storage number 44. Tyler Bramble in that Zero Given number 39. Jimmy Inslee leading his first laps in a core race as a whole in that Eat More Chicken Chick-fil-A number 53. Joseph Sullivan in that Charlie Brown 76. Joe Morant in, it looks like to be just a plain black with a little bit of red on it, number 13. John Crane sporting a Nightmare Before Christmas. So he got rid of Denny Hamlin, and look what happened. He actually, well, I can't really say anything. He did fairly well in that first race. Paul Butler in that number 77 Sweet Jetty RC Cola. And Derek Booker rounding out your 15-car field in that T Gritty Farms number 86. I'm going to go ahead and jump up to the starter cam here as they're getting ready to go green flag. Right? Hopefully I can get to, there it is. Barney's got the green flag. And Ricky, they are green, green, green. It looks like John Crane had a move as he almost got into the back of somebody. Good heads-up move by him. Didn't hit anybody, and there, look at that. Derek Booker already trying to make his way up through the field. Mark Gonzalez and Mark Thomas almost side by side, but look at Paul Owens. He's going to wrap that outside. Going to be on the outside of Mark Gonzalez. Going to force them all three wide, going down the backstretch, through the middle, slice and dice, and he's going to possibly take that lead away from the 46 of Mike Little.
Yeah, it looks like Mark checked up just a little bit for the 54. 54 made a power move. He's going to take the lead and try to lead the first lap.
They're almost
they're gonna
four
be
wide. Caleb Collins.
Whoa.
Mike Little up into the wall, able to get it off. Oh, somebody. Oh, they're spinning in the back. That's possibly going to. No, nobody. Everybody kept it green there. We're going to go ahead and go back to a quick little caution here. John Obinger into the wall. Oh, comes back down. Gets Joe. Boy. Collects Jimmy Ensley. And we're still green here as nobody ended up spinning out. Mike Little drops back there to P number 5 after getting into the wall. Going to move back here to Matt Crockett. He's looking to make his way up here as we have a caution out on track. As I believe that would be for that connection issue during the first lap, or second lap actually. As we'll find out if there's anything out there.
Yeah, I think the caution, Dylan, was for the little scramble with, Inslee and then 72 also. Those two guys got collected. And then, we're going to have to go back and look at that, see what happened. Make sure we get the right call. We don't have an admin with us as Dylan, I call him the B team because I know me and you are the A team because we're broadcasting on CRN. But we don't have a race control right now. But 44 slaps the wall, gets into the 53, and then comes up into the 72. So yeah, that's what's gonna bring out our first caution, and it looks like it'll go to the 44.
Yeah, you see here the 44 is going to net code into the 53, but they would have made contact. Matt Crockett being able to get away with that quick little caution there. And, the first race went caution free. But, it's got to definitely be a good time to go down, get that extra fuel, and get some new tires. All right, guys, as they're all going down a pit lane here. And, like I was saying, Matt Crockett barely missed that whole scramble there by the number 44. Not how you wanted to start out today's race. And, these guys have one faster pair now. For Jimmy Inslee, Nobinger, and I believe it was, I don't know, I can't remember who else was involved, but that faster pair is going to be burned.
Yeah, I think it was the 44, the 53, and the 76 that were all involved that caution. So yeah, those three guys definitely gonna have to probably burn the faster pair, which is unfortunate. But now, Dylan, how do you save, like we saw the 46 do at Michigan? Do you save as much fuel as you can this run and now try to make it to the end? We heard one of the drivers say you can go about 30. I think it was Nobinger. Nobinger said we can go about 30 laps on a tank of fuel.
Yeah, I mean, if you pit, it is completely doable to save at least 5 laps. Now, under caution, what I would be doing right now is running it in fourth gear, barely pushing the throttle, shutting the car off, saving as much fuel as I possibly can to have a little less fuel to burn or save for that matter. I mean, the top 6 did not pit, or the top 5 did not pit, so definitely going to see a different strategy. Definitely going to see a different strategy of these guys as they're getting ready to come around. And, with it being 5 laps in, I would say I would have pit just to be on the safe side because now, with these guys that did pit, they're going to be able to go a little bit longer than the guys that did not pit, and they're going to have fresher tires. And, Auto Club, that's a tire shredding track. I don't know why or how it is. I mean, it's pretty much kind of like almost a flat track, but it's got a little bit of banking. But like you heard Mike Little say in his interview, it's high speed racing that's going to turn on more scrubbing of the tires. And I mean, you can definitely tell when you're scrubbing tires, Ricky, is I don't know if you're like me, but when I'm racing, I like to hear what my car is doing, especially with the tires. If I can hear the tires screeching, I know, one, I have to back up my entry. I have to not turn the wheel so much. And 3, just hope I can keep it together and see what I can do. But for these top 5, I think that was kind of a bad call to stay out.
Yeah, I would have definitely came down pit road and at least topped off with fuel. You know you're gonna have to make one stop, and if this thing goes to the rest of the way, green the rest of the way, as the pace car is gonna dive in. Field now in control of Caleb Collins. He'll bring him down to that Geico restart zone, and they're not going, not going. There he goes. Power down. That 72 machine is off. That was a bad restart by the 39. Not sure if it's just because of worn tires, cycle tires, but Caleb now able to drive away from Booker, and we're going to see those guys that pitted and probably took some fresh rubber, and we're going to see those guys as they're 3 wide in the back. Butler, Crane, Butler's in the middle, Morant outside. He's going to be able to, lost him for a little bit, but he's able to come back as these guys now will make their way down turn number 3.
Yeah, they're coming out of turn number 1 and 2. They were 3 wide. And you see how not so quickly these guys with the fresh tires are making it up through the field. They're still behind the guys on older tires as it looks like John Crane got a little bit loose on that inside. That's something that you don't really want to have happen, especially with the Arca cars. You want to keep that right rear a little bit warm, but not too hot. You keep it a little bit too hot, you're going to run into a little bit of trouble, as it looks like Mark Gonzalez was the biggest loser on that start as he is down. It looks like about 11 positions from where he started, so big majority error on that number 88 pit crew. And I think maybe they need to fire them or possibly get a new crew chief in that number 88 machine.
Yeah, I don't know if Mark's probably trying to take a page out of Mike Little and, probably try to save some fuel. It looks like he's back up to pace. Yeah, he's back up to pace. And so now are going to try to claw his way back. I know he's in the same room with Paul Owens, so maybe them two are going to try to work some strategy on trying to get back. Oh, the 11 going to put the 54 in the wall.
The 76, and it looks like the 54, well, the 54 now is still, right in front of the 54. That's going to warrant another caution as the 54 comes out of the wall. The 44 of John Obinger has nowhere to go, and that's going to bring out our second caution. Now, here is the big part. Do you pit? You're still going to be about 2 laps short. Do you pit and get into pit lane as quickly as you possibly can, or do you stay out and hope for another quick caution?
Yeah, if I'm anybody, I'm coming down pit road because then I know I can save. I know me and you, Dylan, we can save 1 lap. But I'm not really sure if Caleb and them, they're going to have to come down and get tires. But you know what? If I'm the whole field, I come down, top off, even get tires. I know it was probably just 1 or 2 laps. I'm coming down getting fresh rubber because this track likes to eat those tires away. As we're looking at the replay here, Owens in the wall trying to get it off, and then Nobinger just nowhere to go. Clobbers the 54, and that's what is going to bring out our caution. So yeah, I hate to see both drivers involved in that one.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the wreck at Kentucky with Almirola. Just hit that slick stuff and ended up catching somebody else's car, and it just pays the price there, as that one is going to warrant our second caution, and that's just something that you don't really like seeing. Sorry, guys, had to take a little bit of a drink break there, as I've been talking over Ricky Gonzalez here a little bit. My throat's starting to get a little bit hoarse, I should say, as it does happen, but there's a strategy move here. Caleb Collins and Derek Booker
wow.
have both stayed out. Now, this could be a good strategy here, or maybe they're trying to get to that 10 lap mark and then possibly go into pit road this time by.
Well, Dylan, on the second lap, if you're kind of towards the front of the pack, I want to say, is it like top 5? I know it's top 5 for sure. Coming around the second time, you're not allowed to enter the pits. So I'm anxious to see, do these guys just come in and say, I'll serve my 40-second penalty. You have over a minute and a half of trying to get around this track under yellow. But yeah, very curious to know what the strategy is for the 72 and the 86. But it looks like Paul Butler, he had some connections issues, so he's trying to get back into the race, and then Jelly is towing right now, so hate to see both drivers, in their night like that. Hopefully Paul can get back into the server, and then hopefully Jelly can burn that fast repair, get back, get a couple quick cautions, and then able to make his way back up to the front.
Yeah, that's just something you don't really want to see, is, like you said, just before we went to green, Paul Owens, I believe it was battling migraines, looking like Tyler Reddick out there at the Martinsville race, had to pull it behind the wall for the safety of this young man's career. He ended up getting out of the car, take a couple of ibuprofen, drink some milk, and get back in this thing and try to come out here and get this win.
Yeah, and we know Jelly. He doesn't like just milk. He likes chocolate milk. So hopefully he's drinking his chocolate milk. Take a little ibuprofen, and hopefully he can get back out there. Hate to hear that he's feeling under the weather and battling those migraines. Obviously, you got to take care of yourself. I know most of us do this iRacing stuff because it's a hobby and we love racing. Most of us, all of us, watch at least the Cup Series. Some of us watch F1 and all forms of racing, ISMA, IndyCar, you name it. These guys are probably watching it. I'm a big fan of some of the MotoGP stuff. Every time they come to Austin, we try to take a family trip down there. I know my dad's been down there. He's actually taken his motorcycle down there, and Mark had his motorcycle. He was trying to do some MotoGP stuff. So yeah, our family, we watched a little bit of everything, even drag racing. They're actually here in Texas a couple weeks ago. Me and my dad were supposed to go, but weather kind of played a trick on us, and it was supposed to rain all day. And you know what, Dylan? It rained in the morning, and then they actually got the event in, and it didn't rain the rest of the day. So these guys are starting now, Dylan, to get doubled up, and we'll see if that 88, the row I'm watching is the second row. These guys have tires, maybe even gas. I know they can probably make it on fuel now. I want to see what their strategy is. I know Caleb and Derek are probably going to be short, but as the pace car will dive off, Barney changes flags. We'll get them, and the field will be in control once again of Caleb Collins.
Yeah, Caleb Collins going to drive him to the Geico restart zone. He's going to get on the loud pedal super quick. He's going to be able to pull away from Mark Gonzalez, lead him down into turn 1 and 2. He's got everybody clear here, and now it's a race to the finish. The guys in the back did pit and are able to make it, but I think Derek Booker and the 72 of Caleb Collins is looking for a caution as Mark Gonzalez slides up just a little bit. Derek Booker had to change his line and move Mark Gonzalez up to P number 2.
Yeah, Mark he's on the inside of Derek Booker and Foster. Who does Foster go with? Foster going to stick to the outside. He's going to dive it down in the middle. Mark with a slide job
by the number 88. And all the 8s are by each other. I mean, if you think about it, they all end in even numbers. Even the 72, the 46. And then, you know, you got the number 39, the lone man out there with the 9 after the number 3. So all even numbers up here at the front. And you see there, Kevin Foster and Mark Gonzalez running the high line. Kevin Foster's going to move down to the middle, get that good run off. And here comes Mark Gonzalez to the inside of the number 86. The 86 is going to stay to this outside. Oh, Kevin Foster and Mark Gonzalez get together there for a little bit. Mark Gonzalez is going to dive it into turn number 3 and 4. Mike Little trying to get back up to the front. Not able to do so just yet, but Kevin Foster said he wanted to get this win. Derek Booker gets into the wall just a little bit and give that to Mark Gonzalez as he's still P number 2.
Yeah, these guys are battling really, really hard. The 88 and the 86, and the 8 is hoping to see those guys. As you see now, Mike going underneath Kevin Foster. He's going to try to take that position away. Foster going to ride that momentum on the outside. He's going to try to get to the back bumper of the 86, and 88 into the wall. They're going to make their way down. That leaves a hold. Whoa, no, almost 3 wide. Mike checked up just a little bit for Derek, and Mark now moving all the way up to the top of the racetrack, trying to build off that momentum. And now Booker is kind of in no man's land, no draft help, no anything, and he's going to slide back. So move Foster up 1, move Mike up 1. Going to try to side draft. I wouldn't recommend in this car as they all dive now back into turn number 1. 15 laps completed here at Auto Club.
Yeah, Derek Booker still rolling on that inside. He's going to slide up towards Mike Little. Mike got around him. But further back here in the back, it looks like John Crane. He's into the wall, got it off. Look at that diving move by the 50. Dives to the inside. He's going to clear him going into turn number 3. So move Mark Thomas up to P number 5. Derek Booker, he's going to drop back. And now you can see those old tires against the new ones as they're going to put the 86 3 wide. Matt Crockett on the inside. The 39 of Tyler Bramble on the out. And they're going to drop it back down to 2 wide. Better, smart movement there by the number 10 machine. And almost got together the 10 and the 86. That's going to move the 39 into position to take that away. And there you go. I mean, these guys that did not pit, they're going to start falling down the order.
Yeah, the only person that hasn't fallen off yet is Caleb. But Caleb now, he's going to be under duress from Mark. And the 86 continue to fall backwards. As we look back here in the back of the pack, he's going to move it up front for me. And we're going to see these guys. Oh, no, you're good. And we're going to see these guys battle for position. Mike trying to get to the inside of Kevin Hollywood. Going to dive it down into turn number 1. Caleb knows he's a sitting duck now with these fresh tires. Mark going to try to carry that momentum. Caleb comes up. Mark's going to dive down to the bottom. He's going to bring Foster with him. Hopefully Mike gets there too. And we're going to have a new race leader as they dive into turn number 3. Move that 88 Dell Jarrett Quality Care Ford Taurus up to the lead. But here comes Foster. Foster says, hold on, wait a minute.
Hold my beer. Hollywood doing what he does. And look at that. 3rd to 1st in 1 corner. What? Oh, it's good. Mark Gonzalez got it. Mark Gonzalez actually ended up leading that lap. Mike Little gave Kevin Foster a little bit of a bump there. Got him a little bit loose. And they're almost going to be 3 wide. Mike Little's got to back out of it just a little bit. He's going to dive it to the inside, though. Oh, no, actually, I was wrong. That is Caleb Collins. That dove into the inside. Mike Little and Caleb Collins both have purple cars, so give me a minute to recollect my thoughts. As Mike Little's going to take it to the inside of Kevin Hollywood Foster. And he's looking to do a little bit of a slide job here. 3 wide for the lead.
Wow.
Mark Gonzalez
Here
on
we
the
go.
outside. Kevin Foster in the middle. They're going to come back down to 2 wide. Move Mike Little up to P number 2. Caleb Collins, even though he's on the oldest tires out there, he is still running good laps, but we have a spin back here in the back. No, actually, Derek Booker actually went down pit lane. So Derek Booker knew that he wasn't going to be able to make it. He goes down pit lane, and we have a 3-car battle for the lead as Kevin Foster gets up into the wall just a little bit. Mike Little doing a little bit of an evasive maneuver. And out front is still that number 88 of Mark Gonzalez.
Yeah, the one person that took benefit of these guys battling super hard for the race lead is, look at there. He's on the inside of Caleb now. Move Muffin Man up into the 4th position, and he wants to see these guys continue to battle as he continues to gain ground on them. We want to see that Valvoline Scott Riggs machine up into the lead, and I don't know if Mark put in some practice for this. We didn't see him at Michigan, but a strong showing for him as he's going to try to get to the back bumper of these 3 contenders that are battling for the lead right now. So we have Gonzalez, Foster, and Little are your top 3, and then you have Muffin Man in 4th. We're going to look back and see Tyler Bramble Inslee now to the inside of Matt Crockett. He's going to try to bring John Crane with him in the same. He's going to make that pass and make it with ease, actually.
Oh,
He's
but
gonna
look at the
slide up
run
in
that
front of
Matt
the 10.
Crockett
Look
got
at the
out
run.
of turn number 4. Wow, what a power move by that number 10 machine. He is not going down without a fight. He said, hey, I want to join this party up here in the front. Move out of my way, sucker. He is on his way, looking and charging. He's got the gold on him. You see that? He's got the gold. He's ready to go. Like, he is ready to go. Get up there. John Obinger and John Crane doing battle back here as well. Going to go through the field here. The biggest battle is up front, though, as it looks like the John and John show here, going back and forth as John Nobinger is going to wrap that white line. Nobinger or Crane on the outside. Do we get a little bit of a slide job here? We do. Here comes a rebuttal from the number 11. Nope, he's just going to fall in line as up here in the front. These guys are separated by 0.1 of a second. And there you see it. They're all 4 of them are in one solid line. Mark Thomas has caught the top 3. Caleb Collins has fallen back just a little bit more. And I think that is now Caleb Collins' warning to suck.
Yeah, I hate to see it for the 72. Not sure why he didn't come down pit road. Is Mike going to try to dive it? He's going to try to do a 2-for-1. Going to try to
He's
dive
clear
on
of
the
him.
88.
Slide
he's
job!
clear.
Oh, look at that slide
Mark.
job. Beautiful. Kevin Foster in the
wall.
wall. But look at that rebuttal by the number 88. He's going to get by the number 46. So move the 88 back up to the lead. And that was one hell of a move by these top 4 to keep it clean and green, as the 88 did get credited for leading that lap yet again. But here comes Mike Little down to the inside again. Can he get a good run and do another slide job? As they get ready to go down the backstretch here, you can see just how bumpy it is. You can see these cars just bouncing all over the place. Mike Little is going to go for another slide job here. Going to dive it down to the inside. Mike Little to the point. He's going to do another slide job. Can he get clear of him? He's going to slide up and not. He is clear, so Mike Little is going to be able to lead this lap.
Yeah, this is some great racing, Dylan. As we see Muffin Man, he actually got in front of Foster, so move that 50 machine up to the 3rd position. So Mark Thomas, that is, just trying to buy patience. He got by, let these guys burn their stuff up a little bit. He seems like he's just running his own race, and he's going to get up to the back bumper of these 3, and Foster not going away either. So these 4 guys are in contention for a win as we just passed a little over halfway. We're going to come around lap 24, coming to 25. And Dylan, I don't know about you, but man, the racing here at Auto Club in Michigan this week has been phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, these guys are set on dig right now as Mark
Mark
Gonzalez gets into the wall there. And you just see how quickly you can get the lead, but how quickly you can lose it. It's kind of like a plate track style race. You know, you can get up to the front pretty quickly, but you need that draft to help you stay in the lead. As Mike Little's going to follow him. He's going to dive it down low. He's going to be to the inside of the number 88. Mark Thomas is going to follow him. So you got Mark Gonzalez and Kevin Foster. Then you got Mark Thomas and Mike Little following each other. What line will prevail? It looks like Mark Gonzalez is all by himself as Kevin Foster is not to his back bumper. Mike Little going to go for the slide job again, going to keep it down there. He's going to not be able to clear him. Yes, he does, and Mike Little will be able to lead this lap this time by.
And as we see Caleb Collins, he finally makes the decision to come down pit road, so that'll probably get him out of contention of this race. Hopefully we get a late caution, and maybe we can see him get the lucky dog and hopefully come back and salvage what he has the rest of this race. As Mike, whoa, slide job. These guys are slide jobbing all over the place. Mark
Man.
loses the back end, pulls it down to the inside, and he's going to try to take the lead back away from Mike. So
Look at that dive.
Machine.
Look at him go. Slide job. Big slide job. Here comes the rebuttal from Mike Little. Mark Gonzalez going to get in the wall. Mike Little almost gets collected. Mike Little's going to be up to P number 1, but here comes Mark Muffin Man Thomas. He's going to take over that P2 position as Kevin Foster and John Nobinger go down pit road.
Yeah, I don't know if they knew they couldn't make it on fuel, so Foster bringing it to pit road. Hopefully it's just gas only. You know, sometimes these guys, there was one time, Dylan, for me, I accidentally clicked the faster pair as we were trying to come to green flag stops, and then it looks like the 46 is going to come down. Yeah, so yeah, we're going to have another pit cycle, Dylan. These guys probably couldn't make it. They're going to come down, hopefully get gas, and maybe this is the perfect opportunity, Dylan, that we talked about at Michigan. I'm going to try to take 2 tires and hopefully gain all that track position. Here comes Muffin
like
Man.
Mark Gonzalez
They all came.
Mark Gonzalez actually almost missed pit road there. He got so lucky as they all 3 came down and everybody ended up following suit. Joseph Sullivan was your man to stay out, as that's going to keep Derek Booker on the lead lap because he is in front of the number 76. But now, Mark Thomas and Mark Gonzalez get into each other, not able to get into their pit stalls. Mark Gonzalez missed it, had to back up. Looking on board here, right sides go up. Do the left sides go up here? What do they do?
Oh, left sides are up on the 46.
Oh,
Oh,
look at
88 and 10.
88 and 10 both take 2 tires. Mike Little.
Matt Crockett took 2.
What happened
Bramble
to Mike
2.
Little? Mike Little's still on pit lane. I wonder if he got caught speeding. I'm going to go ahead and jump on board with Kevin Hollywood Foster, as that was a disastrous stop for the number 46 machine.
Yeah, that's probably going to take him, Dylan, out of contention to probably win this race. We're going to need a late caution for him to get back into contention. But right now we have 11 cars that are on the lead lap. As Joseph Sullivan's going to come down, serve his pit stop, so we'll probably see 2 tires only from him. Mike's still sitting on pit row. There he goes. The sticker just changed from a 46 rolling now, but unfortunate series of events for the 46 who's trying to sweep like we had last week with Nickerson, and that'll move Hollywood on a 3.5 second lead over the 88 car, and we're gonna see if maybe Mark Thomas and Mark Gonzalez can hopefully will him back in to try to get a win. Caleb Collins able to salvage his day as he had to come down pit road for that, so perfect strategy. Mistake on me, Mr. Collins. Sorry to doubt you. Move that machine in the 4th position, and then Matt Crockett in the top 5. We know Crockett has won one of the short track races earlier this season, so good to see Matt Crockett running in the top 5 of this one. And then there he is, Dylan. Started shotgun on the field. The 86, he's in the top 10. Good showing for Derek. Hopefully he can wrap this thing up with coming to 10 laps to go, as Joseph Sullivan now just made a move on him. So move the 76 up 1 position to the 6th position and drop the 86 down to the 7th position. Then you have Tyler Bramble behind them. Jimmy Inslee and John Crane will round out your top 10, and then Joe Morant running in 11th.
Yeah, I don't know what has gotten into that number 86, but we have seen a whole new different side of this number 86 machine. He has not spun it out at all, knock on wood. And he has not he's been running super clean, and he's going down pit lane here. So unscheduled pit stop for the number 86 machine. Not sure what's going on with him. We're going to go ahead and jump back up here with Caleb Collins as he's running P number 4. And Mark Gonzalez and Mark Thomas are reeling in Kevin Foster ever so slightly. He took that gap from about 3 seconds down to 2.9.
Yeah, if there's one person that I know that can wheel somebody down, it's going to be that 88 machine. Mark's starting to gain other Mark Thomas, that is, Mark with a K, starting to reel the leaders in also. So hopefully he can sense that draft. What would you say, Dylan? If you're within a second, 9/10 of a second, if you're in that little time frame, maybe you can start feeling the effects of the draft to get, pulled back up to the guy in front of you. But so far, we're just gonna have a three-man race to settle this one at Auto Club as we're coming to 9 laps to go.
Yeah, 9 laps to go here at Auto Club. And you see the gap there. Kevin Foster is out to a 2.6-second lead. And, the 88 is slowly crawling his way back into this thing. As, anything can happen. I mean, one little bit of a caution, and that could throw Mike Little right back into it. So definitely want to keep this race green, so that way you don't have to worry about that number 46 coming up through the field and possibly stealing away a win from these guys up here in the front.
All right, yeah, that's the one thing we want to see. Is we want to see these guys are pretty much strung out. As we look at the track map, you can see it there. I know the leaders are coming up on Paul Butler, who unfortunately had an internet connection issue, that put him 2 laps down. But for the most part, everybody's pretty much strung out, minus the 6th and 7th place guy, and looks like the 7th and 8th place guy. They're pretty much in a dead heat on trying to move up in the field. But so far, it looks like Crockett got his way around Caleb Collins. So not sure if Caleb just took 2 tires or no tires. I know Crockett probably took 2 tires. So we'll move that machine, that Liquid Death machine, up 1. And then it's going to be Joseph Sullivan looking to take that position away from Caleb and move that 76 up 1 more spot. But yeah, look at Mark Gonzalez, though. Mark's able to move that machine down to under 2 seconds as, oh no.
Derek Booker. Well, able to keep it green there, just a single car spin. You can't be too mad at yourself, Derek. Don't get down on yourself. Everything, it happens. Don't worry. Just get back out there and run some more. As it looks like the 86 or 76, I apologize, is looking to make a move on the number 72. He's going to get clear of him. And, right behind these guys is that number 46 of Mike Little. He's trying to get that 1 lap back. But while we're looking here, Kevin Foster's lead has just been decimated by the number 88. It is down to 1.9 seconds and closing ever so slightly.
Yeah, got up a little. Oh, okay. Mark's running the outside, so he'll have the momentum coming off the corner. So yeah, he's going to gain more ground as we're coming to 5 laps to go now. That gap is pretty much stabilized. There it goes under 1.8. We'll see if it jumps back up. Looks like Foster probably took gas only, so he's able to keep that machine out in clean air, but he's coming. That 88 machine is trying to make it a battle and trying to get that car back in the victory lane, as we see. So it'll come under 1.8 down to 1.7. Yep, there it is right there, Dylan, 1.7. So we're just looking, if you're looking at it, looking at the ticker, and it's getting slowly shrunken by that 88 machine.
Yeah, slowly wheeling his way up to the leader here. But with 4 laps to go, I don't know if Mark Gonzalez can catch him. I know your brother wants to hurry up, get back into victory lane with Paul Owens having the migraine Tyler Reddick storyline here. So Mark Gonzalez on the outside looking in as of right now, trying to capitalize on that win here. And that could be detrimental for your brother of Mark Gonzalez.
Oh, and I just heard something. It looks like the 10's going to have to pit again. Oh, Foster in the wall.
Foster
oh, no.
Into the wall here. That's going to shrink that time back down to 0.2.
He's there.
Mark Gonzalez is there. Now, what does Kevin Foster do? Does he let him go by? And it looks like he is. He's going to run him up high. So move Mark Gonzalez up to the point as of right now. But now look at this. Kevin Foster took the outside away from your brother. And now he's going to be to his own crossover by the number 8 machine of Kevin Foster. He's going to be on the inside of the number 88. And, Kevin called his shot before this race started. He wanted this win. Does Kevin Foster give your brother the chrome bumper if it comes down to it?
Yeah,
Kevin
Foster
almost
another As we see another slide job, and he's going to move the 88 machine back into the lead as we are 2 laps to go now into this race. Looks like Mark he's going to dive it to the inside, going to try to run the middle of the track, going to slide it up. Look at the run Foster got. Oh my God. He's going to have a huge run, and I think Mark is
On
content
his
with him.
outside.
Wow.
Kevin
Not
Foster.
really sure.
Power move on the outside. Kevin Foster's going to pull away, actually. Not sure what happened to the number 88, but look at that. That time is closing up again as we are on our final lap here, looking at the battle for the win as Kevin Foster is your race leader. Now, what does Kevin Foster do? Does he want to try and throw his late block on the number 88, or does the 88 try to do a little bit of another slide job? But with that being said, if you throw a slide job in 3 and 4, Kevin Foster will have the perfect rebuttal for it. As, you know, me personally, I'd rather be the guy in second place.
If I'm Mark, I'm going to throw this car down on the bottom and try to slide job him and block. And we know he has a couple wins. Here we go. Mark's going to dive it to the inside. Yep, that's what I thought he was going to do. Going to try to make it stick. I don't think he's
going to be a drag race to the
oh,
finish
drag
here.
race.
Kevin Foster, Mark
come
Gonzalez,
up, 88,
drag race.
come up,
Here we
88.
go. What do? They
Gotta
don't
touch,
touch. They don't touch yet. Here we go. Kevin Foster's going to grab the win by .041 over Mark Gonzalez. An absolute drag race to the finish, and Kevin Foster coming away with the win here tonight. Kevin Foster doing what he could do, and wow, that finish, man. Ooh!
Oh, that was good.
These tracks just get me so happy.
Yeah, that was a great finish. I think if Mark stays at the top in one of those corners instead of diving to the bottom, I know he likes to make things interesting for the broadcast. But if I'm the 88, he absolutely threw that one away. So big congratulations to Kevin Foster, able to carry that momentum on the outside of the racetrack and carry that momentum down to the line. And it was a drag race, and instead of calling him Hollywood, I think we got to give him a new nickname, Mr. John Force. He was able to beat Mark to the line, and an epic, almost epic photo finish by beating Mark by .041. And I think, Dylan, if we had probably 2 more laps, I think Muffet Man would have made it a 3-car battle here at the end.
I think we're going to have to go back to that finish here and turn it to a different camera angle here. Going to go ahead and stop it. Go to Mark Gonzalez and go to the far chase cam and just see exactly how close this really... Oh, wrong button there. Let me go ahead and rewind that. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and pause it here. Okay, so Kevin Foster had him by more than half a car, but still just a great battle all the way around for these guys. And we're going to go ahead and bring up the grid here. Is it not going to show? It is not. So, results. There we go. No, that's qualifying. Let me get on over to the race results here. There we go. Kevin Hollywood Foster bringing home in P number 1. Mark Gonzalez in second. Mark Thomas in third. Joseph Sullivan in fourth. Caleb Collins in fifth. Tyler Bramble in sixth. Jimmy Inslee in seventh. Joe Morant in eighth. Matt Crockett in ninth. Mike Little rounding out your top 10 one lap down. Derek Booker, strong night for him. Came down to a mistake on his own part, but still a strong night for that number 86. In 12th, we have John Crane. 13th, John Nobinger. 14th, Paul Butler. And rounding out your 15-car field is Paul Tyler Reddick Owens.
Yeah, that was we had 2 fantastic races. Definitely a fan of these mile and a halves, and at this time we're going to bring in our 3rd place finisher. That would be the number 50 of Mark Thomas. And hey, Mark, this is Dylan and Ricky in the booth. You got a copy?
I do have a copy.
Well, man, you were in the driver's seat. You had a first-hand look at these guys battling for the lead in an epic style. an epic finish that we had. I think, man, I told Dylan if we had 2 more laps, I think Muffin Man would have made it a 3-car battle. But man,
Yeah.
what a great showing. Kind of walk us through your night here at Auto Club.
Well, daylight savings kind of humped me, so I was now late for the first one, which means I couldn't race. Um, so that kind of put pay to the first race for me. But excuse me, second one was good. I managed to do decent on tyre conservation for once in my life. I didn't kill the right side front, so I was actually I was actually pulling up on the front to just a little. I think Mark had a save on the one lap from the end. Otherwise, I think he would have it would have been even more interesting. But I mean, Kevin's the tyres of he's the king of saving tyres, so it was all kind of. The fact that I was actually managing to closing down towards the end, I was really happy. Yeah, it was a good race. It was 2 rights. I took 2 rights because I thought that was the way to go, and it seemed to pan out quite well for me. It was a bit slick on 2 coming out for the first couple of laps, but once you got warmed up, yeah, it was good. It came to me.
Yeah, do you think probably if we did have those 2 laps, do you think you probably would have had something for those top 2, the 8 and the 88?
If they only kept battling, I think so. If it had been 2 laps longer, I reckon, because I think their tyres were just dropping off and mine was still fairly decent. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe with a couple more laps I could have done something. Quite what, I don't know, because I mean, if it had been an extra 2, Mark might have taken more fuel. Kevin might have pitted later. I mean, it's all with some buts, but yeah, on long run pace, the car was good. Felt good.
Yeah, we were able to see you move up through the field, and looking forward to the next week as we go to 2 more short tracks that are on the schedule. So we'll throw the 2-mile tracks out, and we go to Myrtle Beach and Nashville Fairgrounds. How do you feel about those 2 tracks coming up next week?
Yeah, I'm full of the joys of spring. Hey. Oh, I can't wait to go to yeah, I'm going to do a Chastain because now that's legal. I'm going to call it the Chastain maneuver because I mean that's just no. I'm kidding. Please don't kill me, NASCAR fans. Please don't kill me. I'm not a short track guy. Everybody knows this. I don't really tend to do well at short tracks. I've been trying to get my head around it. And I'm getting it. It's coming, but I just want to try and finish clean-ish, if it's possible. But that doesn't tend to work out for me at short tracks. If there's a crash at short tracks, I tend to be in it somewhere. Yeah, the hope is that I could just try and stay clean and be somewhere near the top 5, 10 towards the end of the race, and I'll be happy.
Well, you have 2 guys here in the booth that are rooting you on. You do a fantastic job in these cars. But man, before I let you get out of here, who do you like to thank on that ride?
I would like to thank Simplicity, stayathome.co.uk, OBP Pedals, Cody, the core league itself for just putting this on. I mean, I love this stuff. I'm loving Oval more and more I do it. I might actually have to get an A license one of these days. I don't know. I don't know if I can. And yourselves, you guys in the booth, I know this takes time out of your days, and I know that you put a lot of effort into getting it all and making it sound good and making it look good. And I've been up there in the booth with Dylan a time or 2, and I know how difficult it is. So my hats go off to you both in the booth for just putting on the show that you do. It's always good.
Well,
there you have it. Oh, I'll let you go ahead, Dylan.
I think maybe next week, Mark, you hop up in the booth with Ricky and I race for you.
Sounds good to me.
See, we got it all figured out.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
We got it all figured out. So if you see or if you hear Muffin Man in the booth, you know what it is. Dylan McDonald's going to be down there on track running these 2 short tracks because those 2 short tracks are my favorite short tracks for the Arca car. So Yeah, Mark, if you want the practice, I got you, buddy. I will get you
You know,
to tip-top
I
shape.
will take you up on that, Dylan, because you know me, Dad. I am not a short track guy. I can't. I struggle at short tracks. I always do. I've been working on it, and my last short track experience was fairly decent. So, you know, it's coming. But I mean, a lot of these guys are really, really quick at short tracks. I mean, Mark's really quick at short tracks. Kevin's really quick at short tracks. A lot of the guys, Caleb, he's good at short tracks. A lot of these guys are short track guys. So I'm going to be on the struggle bus. On anything over a mile and a half, I do okay. I can hold my own. But on the short track stuff, it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different load of strategies, which I struggle to get my head around.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be a tough task to do, but we're going to go ahead and let you move on out of here, celebrate that third place victory, and
Thanks,
hopefully
guys.
we'll be talking to you again next week.
Appreciate you guys. Take it easy.
You as well, buddy.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and move on to our second place finisher of Mark No Show Gonzalez. Mark, this is Dylan and Ricky in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
All right, Mark. Well, you took a couple week hiatus, but you come back stronger than ever. Had a little bit of a miscommunication up there in the first in the first race. You led a couple laps, wasn't able to get back around Mike Little as he ended up doing a one-stop race. And then up here in this Auto Club race, you and Kevin Foster put on one hell of a battle. Probably the best battle we've seen all season long. Came down to .043 of a second. What more could you have done to get that race win here tonight?
I think what really killed me is the second to last lap. I dove it into one, turned off the engine, had to brake a little bit, had to save a little bit of gas. If I didn't save that gas, I was definitely not going to make it. So as soon as I hit that finish line, I ran out of gas.
Oh, no.
If I took a little bit more gas on the pit stop, I would have been fine.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's always a guess that you have to do, but you, Mike Little, and I believe it was who was running P3 there. I can't remember who was running P3, but all you guys came into pit road at the same time, and it looked like Mike Little had a little bit of a pit road violation, had to sit there in pits for a little bit extra time, so that kind of helped you out in the long run. Were you hoping for another caution to try and gap the field, or were you just happy with the second place finish?
I was just happy with the second place finish. I mean, I put on a good show. That's all I can do, and as long as it looks cool on broadcasting, I don't give a crap.
Yeah, I mean that's all that you can ask for. I mean, you're coming in, I believe, third. No, not even in the play. I mean, you are in the playoffs with your wins here in the Arca series, but going forward, you got two short tracks. I mean, you got Myrtle Beach and you got Nashville Fairgrounds. Are you looking forward to those two tracks? Or are you just hoping to get around these short tracks and move on to, I believe it is Pocono and Talladega?
I'm looking forward to it. I've never done it in the Arca car, so it'll be interesting to drive the Arca car there because I've done late models and stuff, but not the Arca car with more power and all that.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a good race. A lot of slippy, slidey mess going on, but without further ado, we're going to go ahead and let you run down your sponsors or give any shout outs you have on deck, and we'll let you get on out of here.
I want to thank the broadcast for putting on the race, the both races, and then I also want to thank my family for allowing me to race tonight.
All right, Mark, we're going to go ahead and let you go down and celebrate with your team, and we'll be seeing you again next week.
Alrighty.
All right, that was our second place finisher. We're going to go ahead and move in our first place finisher of Kevin Foster. Kevin, this is Dylan and Ricky in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you guys.
All right, Ricky, guess what? You get to do Hollywood
man.
Foster, and I'll let you go ahead and take it away, sir.
Yes, sir, Mr. Hollywood. So you said pre-race you wanted to finish one spot better. What a better way to finish by winning by .043. Talk us through those last couple of laps battling with Mark Gonzalez.
Well, like 4 laps ago, I thought I gave away the race. Some reason I was just corner entry. I was just too high and got sucked into the wall. and I had like a 2-second lead at that point, and then like I thought the race was over, and somehow I don't know if Mark got tight. I know he was trying to save some gas, so that's probably the only thing that saved my ass from not from finishing second, but I thought I was like, man, look at this. He's got a lot better tires than I do, and there's no way that I'm gonna be able to pass him. We went down into turn one. He ran the low line. I stuck it up against the fence and came off side by side. And then in 3 and 4 there on the last corners, I was like, I backed up my entry there. He dove it off in the bottom. I was like, there's no way it's going to stick. Like, I was like, I'm going to finish second. This is going to be terrible. Luckily, the momentum from the outside carried me just enough that's to the 0.043 second win tonight, boys.
Yeah, that was an epic finish. Looks like you had a little over half a car length to the line, but it definitely looked a lot closer in broadcast. The Houston native getting it done as this Houston Astros are currently in the World Series right now. But man, switching gears now. I know we go to 2 short tracks next week. Will we see that at number 8? And another question I have for you as we go to those short tracks. Obviously, it's how do you feel about those? And then second, I gotta ask, man, will we see old Rusty come back and make an appearance?
Rusty's out there doing her thing. It rained today here in Houston, so she's sitting outside. But make sure I pushed her outside so she can get a fresh coat of rust on her. Rusty will probably be back. I don't know when. I gotta talk to a couple people and see if we can get some funds enough to make it to the racetrack in the next couple of weeks. But yes, I will promise this: Rusty will be out again this year. But don't know when, and we'll keep it a secret. And then you guys see her on the track soon enough.
Well, there it is. Mr. Hollywood, how do you feel next week also with Nashville Fairgrounds and then going to Myrtle Beach? Will we see Kevin Foster make that short track appearance?
Very possible. I love both of those tracks, especially Myrtle Beach. Love that track. Might be to get enough funding to make it to Myrtle Beach. I don't know if I can do the double next week with everything going on, but we will see. I'll keep the fans updated on my Twitter account. Go to the Rusty Rig at Hollywood. Follow me there, and boys, we'll get it out soon. Don't worry.
Well, Mr. Hollywood, before we let you go, is there anybody? I know you have a lot of supporting. I know Barry Kistler's one of them.
Yes.
He's gonna throw a big shout out to you in the chat. So is there anybody you'd like to thank for the win tonight?
Yes. First off, Barry, this one's for you, buddy. I dedicate this win tonight to Mr. Barry. He's always there, always cheering me on. Been a huge fan of mine for the past 3 years. My beautiful, lovely wife downstairs, and hopefully the Astros can pull it off tonight. I'm recording the game, so no one, send me any spoiler alerts. And let's go, boys. I'll see you guys soon.
Yes, sir.
There
Barry.
it is.
Oh, go ahead.
There. Nope. Sorry. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Foster. I'm glad I didn't tell you the score. I don't even know what the score is, to be honest with you.
That's
here.
good. That's
Just,
good. Well, I got my Astro shirt on right now, my Astros underwear, my Astros socks. I am decked out and looking for some good things here in a few minutes.
Well, my Rangers, they're working on getting back to where they were in 2010 and 2011. So we'll see you in 2024, 2025 when they're actually competitive again. Astros, I'm going to try to convert you, Mr. Foster, over to be on the good side, and that's the Texas Rangers side.
Well, in 2025, I'm hoping that the Cowboys got their stuff together and the Rangers got their stuff together in 2025, if there's even football around then. So we'll see, boys.
Sounds good. Go ahead. Do you have something for him, Dylan?
Yeah, out there in the YouTube chat, he said he called it and he did it. Good finish and congrats to Kevin on the win here tonight from Mr. Barry Kistler.
Hell yes. So thank you again, Barry, and thank you guys for putting it on. Thanks for CRN. It's man, this is a blast. I had to come out here to the Arca series and had to make sure I still got it.
All right. Well, Kevin, we're gonna go ahead and let you go celebrate with the wife. Watch the game in your Houston Astros attire. And we
Yes,
will
sir.
see you on Thursday night as we get ready to tackle the Watkins Glen Road Course in the 87s.
Unfortunately, I'll be there.
Unfortunately, I'll be there too. I probably won't finish, but I'll be there.
I'll be there too. I'll be with you in the pits. Don't worry. Bye.
All right. See you later, Kevin. All right. That was our first place finisher, Kevin Hollywood Foster, coming down with the race win. Going to go ahead and run down these final order once again. Kevin Foster, P number 1. Mark Gonzalez in third. Mark Muffin Man Thomas in third. Joseph Sullivan in a fourth. Caleb Collins in rounding out your top 5. Tyler Bramble in sixth. Jimmy Inslee in seventh. Joe Morant in eighth. Matt Crockett in ninth. Mike Little rounding out your top 10. Derek Booker in 11th. John Crane in 12th. John Nobinger in 13th. Paul Butler having a little bit of a computer issues in 14th. And then Tyler Reddick Owens in rounding out your top 15. That's going to do it for here tonight on the CRN broadcasting service. Don't forget, Thursday night, you're going to see Abhi Vishuvasam and Jimmy Covert in the booth as myself, Kevin Foster, and company get ready to do battle for about 45 laps at Watkins Glen as Carl Handwerk has, made his return into the core vintage series as he's trying to make it 4 in a row as he's won the first 3 races. And then Friday and Saturday, we are not going to be broadcasting at all. And then you'll catch me back in the booth on Sunday night as they go. Let me get up to the schedule here. Sorry, everybody. Almost done here. We go to Park River and the Pro 2s for a 12-lap feature, so don't want to miss that as that is playoff round number 2. And then we're back at it again on Monday night with the GT3 and GT4 series as that season's getting ready to run down. And without further ado, make sure you guys take care, brush your hair,